Hey up everyone, how are you doing? So I thought I'll start sharing some forecasts. I do this every single day before I start on the charts, usually about half an hour before H-hour kickoff. And yeah, I thought I might as well start sharing it. Obviously the market can do whatever the fuck it wants, so it's not necessarily going to listen to me. So by all means, do not listen to me. But just to see where my head's at, and if anybody's got a similar strategy, they have any little bonus bits here what they could take away or anything like that, I thought I'd do this anyway. I might as well record it. So yeah, I always start on the monthly, and here's all the markings already. And what I'm looking at most recent price action on a monthly is that this was like a big swing low, what finally got broken, and I had a little bit of inducement before the break and refined points of interest above that inducement. And when we come to the very most recent price action, since this pullback, we dropped like type B liquidity, smashed into this point of interest, had a real nice rejection, and now what I'm looking to see is while we swept this type B liquidity, where's the fuel to continue this move long, or has there been enough fuel to maybe start creating lower lows? And either way, the next bit of liquidity is below this range here. So I'm pretty interested to look for shorts at the moment on the monthly. On the weekly, actually a little bit messy. So this point of interest here, this demand point of interest, well, I do like it because it's kind of back in to the most recent demand range, right? And it is the point of interest that broke this strong level of supply. So these white boxes are flips, right? So I can see that. But I also see that. How do I make this clearer? We come up, yeah, we flipped, right? But we've also tapped into this strong point of interest here, right, which is on our monthly as well, right? We swept what is on the monthly, the type B inducement liquidity, on a weekly. So you got to see like it logically. If there's traders going short here and they have all their stop losses, drawdown, all that kind of good stuff above this high, protecting their trade short, right? The algorithms are going to seek that liquidity, that money, come up here, mitigate, and then look for the next bit of money. Now, where would that be? Right? We could see traders who have seen this flip, this break here, break out of this breaker structure here, going long. So they would have all their orders below this low. Yeah, to go long. And that's where all the next bit of liquidity is. So see how I've got like taken liquidity is yellow. So we've taken this liquidity, and then on the weekly, I'll say the next liquidity for algorithms to target is actually below this low here. So again, I'm pretty happy to look for shorts on the weekly. And if you go down on the daily, same detail with the daily. So I've got this red line marked out here because I'm seeing this as one big leg. I want to remind myself with that because you can see like a pullback here, right? But because this was one big leg, there was no pullback in this short leg here. It pretty much just fell out of his ass, right? This is like substructure pullback. This isn't main structure pullback. So I draw this kind of red line here to remind myself that this whole thing is actually one leg. I'm mitigating this until it broke this swing high. This was all one leg. So there's actually plenty of reason for it to come down into these extremity daily points of interest. And look how clean that flip is as well. So I do like this price action down here. Again, we've got this liquidity, and all this is that underneath the weekly. Oh, I didn't mark out the monthly. Okay, but underneath the weekly, point of interest here as well. And you can see how supply is not really even bothering to come back. It's had this sweep, mitigated monthly, weekly. Admittedly, it's not actually that clean on anything on the daily what we've mitigated, but it's just been melting. It's just been, look, these big wicks sweeping, melt. Sweep all this, melt. This level of demand here has had a few opportunities to push long, it's failing. It's just been enough to kind of push long to collect more liquidity to continue the trend short. So yeah, on the daily, this swing high here was the last bit of liquidity taken that pushed up. And now where's the next bit of liquidity? Again, same detail on the weekly. Anybody seen this big move here, right, they'll be going long, and they'll have all their stop losses and drawdown, all that kind of good stuff below this low, right? And that's what liquidity algorithms gobble up. They want to find this. So I feel like we are getting a bit of resistance here, but we're not seeing demand really push off. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one more kind of sweep of something before to get to fuel to then actually target this major bit of liquidity below here. Then we've got some really nice refined demand points of interest, what could then, you know, push the trend long or play reactions. There's basically plenty of reason to go short here, and I'm not really seeing enough fuel to go long. So let's have a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, cool. So we can actually change this a little bit. I'll say that was the last bit of liquidity taken there. And this could be the fuel, mitigated this nice kind of, I've made this really big because there's more refined stuff down here, right? This is all a bit messy in it. But obviously there was a bit of price action where demand was playing from here and trying to push long but failing, just creating liquidity instead. Failed again, broke through. So this is a kind of like a substructure flip. I'm just going to hide that because it's kind of more last week's price action. And the reason, yeah, this one's so big is because there is stuff in here, but there's also very nice juicy stuff just underneath. Okay, so within this 4 hour point of interest here, quite interesting. These are nice. So look, all these areas here cause flips. They've all swept liquidity. They've all got like insane amount of inducement and liquidity to fuel the move. So yeah, we getting down to these zones here, and we get a long setup, taking out all day long, Sally. But to get there, so this is our target, right? As I said, we're looking pretty bearish, I'd say, to get below these lows. But to get there, we need fuel, right? So we could just mitigate this point of interest here, but I want more of a high probability setup, and I don't really want type B liquidity. I want type A liquidity, and that is here. We're doing. There we go. So I'd actually like to see this kind of high here get swept, our target liquidity, and then there's some nice refined points of interest on the 15-minute down here. To then that would create this. Ooh. That would then be the taken liquidity, which means the next target liquidity would be this low, and we could really see it maybe melt off and take these lows as well. Or, as I said, the market can do whatever the fuck it wants, and she can just got enough here. This is the sweep, mitigation of a strong point of interest here. They don't need all this money down here. They got enough. This is a good price to buy at, and they've all balanced up, and they're good to go long again. Maybe chase some liquidity up here somewhere. But yeah, I'm definitely favouring shorts from above this yellow line here. I'm just going to move that back. So I'll keep that on there, because then when we go down to the 15-minute, Oh, bloody hell, I've not been taking screenshots of this to put up my own records. I'll do it after, never mind. So yeah, this is the high. I'm pretty interested to see get swept. And there's a couple of these nice refined points of interest here. Down the 1 minute, I won't bother going down that low. That sparked my interest. Let's get the Asian range up, and look, that could line up quite nicely with an Asian sweep as well. I always just put this one on, right, because see, look, we haven't got the middle line here. I think we can set that, but I just like to find out what's in the Asian premium and discount as well. Just have it like that. So yeah, we start pushing up here. 4:30 is like my dream hour. So this was something I was looking at last week. We didn't clearly mitigate this, and we did get nice entries long, but I just wanted to wait out. And this was New York as well, not in my trading hours, so I left it. But this has been some nice supply to demand range flips, POI flips, but this high is still our higher time frame liquidity to be swept. Now it could be targeted. You know, we could maybe play longs to target this liquidity, but it's not part of my kick check. So yeah. A little bit of the Asian market explained. Right, so look, this could be London here at 7 AM London time. See how it was like sold off a bit, right? But then that's to mitigate this point of interest here, that swept liquidity, mitigate this. All this could be very juicy to go. Right, mitigated that. Maybe we could see London push long, right? Maybe even break this high. Get, again, a lot of traders thinking, oh, London's long today. So they'll put their stops below this low, but not realizing that the market is pushing up just to sweep this higher time frame liquidity for fuel to then go short for a high time frame next bit of liquidity. And while that short will be happening, they'll also take out all the London traders who had their stops below this low, thinking that this is a breakout. Know what I'm saying? That's the way I like to kind of see the market nowadays anyway. Still going on points of interest that cause flips. So this one here, look, strong level of demand, pushed up, came down, got tested, failed, tested, swept liquidity, swept that low, still failed to break the high, then got broken. Now this decisional has been mitigated, but why has it been mitigated? The decisional has been mitigated to just create more liquidity, which is our higher time frame liquidity, to come up, sweep these highs, mitigated. There goes the Wonder Boom. Some 1 minute price action in here, or the extremity up here. And again, like, I'm not going to place an entry here. If we get our 1 minute confirmation from these levels, I'll be happy. I think I've got this marked out because that's pretty clean there as well. We'll see. If this is like ridiculously clean, it's the Asian sweep. This makes sense. It has broken swing structure. We do have liquidity below us to target. This is kind of like chinning off the 4 hour liquidity bias and moving just off the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, really. So if we get a 1 minute clean entry here, yeah, could be pretty happy to have a look. But super nice would be this little badger up here. Fucking hell, still 15 minutes, isn't it? I suppose it does usually take me about this long to have a good look. And that's why it's 1:45 now to my trading hours. And demand wise, yeah, I just don't really fancy longs at the moment, just because I think there's a lot of liquidity below us. You know, this is below loads of liquidity and it's still nice. I'm happy to take longs from here, but this one's too aggressive. Got it marked out. Just I mark them out, and if we get reactions and the price does go from there, it'll be something to learn from in the future, you know. But yeah, if that's the way you guys. So I usually just screenshot this and I put it into my Notion. I'll share it. So yeah, Monday, August 21st. I've got like Monday notes because I do get stung on Monday a few times because I get pretty aggressive, but and overtrade in the past. I haven't done for a while, but that's because I read this note, which is handy, and I have my warm up, which I kind of tick off all these kind of good stuff to make sure that I'm present and warmed up basically and ready for the charts. Got my thoughts. I'm not going to share you my thoughts for today. And then yeah, I would have just been screenshotting what I've just done there and have them. Did I do the first one? No, never mind. And yeah, that's how I would have my pre-day markups ready to go. And that is the forecast. Cool. Cheers guys. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.